to walk into our grand finals here in stage 2 and ban first pick. That advantage we've seen be massive over previous stage finals.
Yeah, absolutely. And even further than that, this is the rivalry of Americas, which right now, this year, G2 are leading 3-2 in overall series. So an opportunity for SEN to get some more revenge and go 3-3.
All right, it's time, folks, for Samsung Match Start. Load up fast with Samsung SSTs. And this is a map pool for SEN that doesn't feature Lotus or Corrode, two of their best maps so far this stage.
Kaplan has spoken recently about the map pool for SEN being the crux of future success at a global event like Champions, where they're headed in a few weeks. And this pool, I think, is really going to test the depth that this roster has right now against America's finest in G2.
SEN starting on the attack side here. It's an early net thrown out, and Leave going to take first contact. It's Jork, though. Able to fail narrate very early on, and the response, of course, is to get a barrier down. This could be circumvented. John heads over the top, and it's really just him who's gotten past this.
He is fully committed. That is crazy. The G2 flank is so quick behind them, but
Too fast.
It might not even matter, honestly.
Sky Smoke's going to be in the way, but Trent will be able to see above it. Bang, no, takes contact, finishes him off. The wall's still in the way. It's awkward. And Bang can now fall back in the post-plan. It's
getting the players crazy.
The hot shots for G2 last week. It's NRG, absolutely stellar. And getting into this match.
How could they possibly do anything against this crossfire? It's just going to be way too effective. So clean that up with ease. I love that decision to just purely ego the wall that was thrown down by Leaf. John just hops over top, gets out really far right, and then Zekin somehow able to get an engagement against Jaw. I want to definitely look at that on the replay.
Just playing up on top of those boxes there, and again, there's no one-way put down at all.
I mean, there it is. Zekin is just able to creep up against the wall, crouches, and Josh
that wall sucked a donkey dick.
It's possible the Valen on that sort of long wrap is not in position to put their util down for the defenders. We're going to jump straight into round 2, though. And again, it's that Stinger force up. We've seen SEN do this on Corrode as well. It makes the econ really weird in the openers, but pretty huge. It's just a tough bonus to win out.
Dang it, that long range taking a fight towards Showers. Is going to have to deal with a player in the teleport as well.
That was a good fight.
And there are 4 Stingers in the hot, sweaty hands of Sentinels right now. Not a whole lot to be done. I mean, we observed this kind of economic opener from SEN against C9. Now, it made their bonus kind of weird because they're playing with, 4 or 5 Stingers in some cases against what could be a full buy in the coming round. But if they win that, if they find a way to find success in that round 3, they can buy for so much of the first half.
Surely there's a
Dog,
team out there.
You ain't doing anything here. This guy not doing
with the
anything.
5-man Stinger.
Pick it up when you're putting down. Yep.
Surely it's G2. Surely.
Well, John has been able to get one of those weapons to hand himself, but it's really just perishing to the spike that's on the agenda for him here. SEN, hot and heavy on towards his A side of the map. Playing with a real burst of speed here, and Zelsis honestly recently said he'd like his team to inject a bit more of that unpredictability into their
Dying
games.
to the
Feels like
spike
maybe
there
them
gives you
and
more
also
money.
G2 play a little standard sometimes.
Yeah, had said that in the post-match interview when these two teams faced last, that he felt like sometimes they were playing too standard and honestly wanted to take some inspiration from teams in Pacific who inject that insane unpredictability, like Paper Rex, for example. SEN have come out first time playing double duelist on a non-Haven map, I believe, that we've seen this year. Narrate has been putting up some pretty unbelievable numbers. The 5th highest rated in ACS for stage 2, and that is everyone above him being a duelist. He's the highest non-duelist, so now he gets a chance to flex his muscles here. Stinger rush coming through.
Dyna Salvo a bit awkward, but you can see Narrate's able to get ahead of it. Trent, though, with a bit of weapon, steps up, steps out. It's going to be a Prowler here to clear Lambs and Zekin. Knows he has to push. This is an awkward angle where the Stinger's across the site. Jorgamo is felled. Trent here needs to watch over towards Showers, and a Paint Shells would look to dig Leaf out of that corner. The spray comes straight through Triple and picks up the deadlock.
I'm kind of mad how much damage SEN are doing long range right now with the Stingers. These are not the ideal fights you want to take, and yet somehow they've taken down 2 players. They've got Trent low on HP, but this is another miserable angle. Honestly, Jonah isn't just long range, should be able to pick them apart.
That's on Zekin. He was low health of the 2, and he's going to be seized in place, at least having to get a spike down. Oh my goodness!
Is that not ridiculous?
Zekin still fancies a bit of a fight. Swing on this corner, he's 26 health and it doesn't seem to care. Valen's coming for him though, and almost a frenzy claimed another. Jeez, they get close, don't they?
I mean, that pretty absurd how much damage is done there. Zekken's movement is looking so smooth.
And they've already carried 2 rifles out of this anti-stinger round.
I mean, like you were saying, these Stingers, no investment, low investment. They get 3 kills and the plant. SEN are going to take that all day. Look at the situation that it's got G2 in now. They're fully bought down. If they lose this round, it'll be worth 2 for SEN. And Narrate wants to exploit the economy by buying the Outlaw, but there are going to be 3 G2 players with heavy armor, so only a couple susceptible to a potential one-shot.
Narrate can also imply more players on this A side of the map than is sort of the reality by making use of that clone and also gate crashing away to be if and when he's needed. Okay.
Bit of danger there for Trent. He was one of the light armored players, by the way, so that would have been a one-shot. SEN have this control of B-long. As is the standard, you do want to funnel those orbs towards your rays to get as many showstoppers on attack as you can. Massive win condition for the attacking team here on Bind.
Narrate is tucked in cubby, but that is going to be watched pretty diligently here by Leaf. He's waiting for someone to blink first. And
why?
For the less armored players.
Why would you
be? Deadlock unavailable. No wall to slow things up further. Trent awkwardly set out in the open and bang, deals him a death blow instantly. Narrate looks like he's lost a fight with the lawnmower recently, but I tell you what, he's hitting the shots when they count. He's going to make his way forward up on this A side here. G2 trying to converge, and there's a late wrap, but Giacomo's about to run into resist. Are you okay? You good?
Yeah, no, I'm good. No, nothing. Oh my God. John has the read on the flank, and G2 have no option but to save. I'm sure Jaw would have loved to have kept that rifle as well.
If I've broken you already, you're in for a tough series, brother.
You can't be doing them like that, man. You can't be doing them like that. That was a great round from Sentinels, though. In the mid-round, I love how they were working the map over towards that B side. You know, Zekken remained posted up long. He broke one of the Prowlers that was thrown by Jonah, and at the same time, or, you know, basically same time, a few seconds later, then a Prowler was used from John over towards Hookah. So it looks like they're working long, and they're working Hookah at the same time, but in reality, they've taken A short control. Zekken just TPs, they pivot back to
like,
A.
why?
When Leaf goes down, that site is basically free for the taking.
Why are we peeking
Brimstone
there?
defensively here, like we're not seeing that like standard one-way being put down at A short. Right, we're actually seeing Valen playing over towards the B side of the map instead, maybe hoping to stall things out over there, throw those smokes down, maybe get some B-long control. But you know, there's a gate crash opportunity there for Narrow. We can get into Cubby. He can cross that part offshore without being spotted by someone like Leaf and then hit him from an unexpected spot. Assistant coach Baby Bay. My goats. I mean, yeah, we're the second highest rated player in playoffs up until this point. And it looks like Leaf is sort of stepping, it's funny, Leaf is sort of stepping into, you know, his roles here. I am looking forward to Sunset when we get there because there's a chance for that Leaf Chamber to come back out if he is just going to sort of pick up where Dre left off.
Yeah, it definitely seems to indicate that.
What?
Because we had heard from Josh that, you know, both Leaf and Dre have been practicing throughout these last few weeks.
Leaf have been streaming a lot.
Yeah, I have to imagine that they're basically just playing the same role on every single map. They're just bouncing back and forth between the two of them. But
Dre though is available to be substituted in between maps in this series, should it be required.
Just in case, get the Dre Chamber back on Sunset.
Yep.
I mean, like you said, he is up there in the stats, one of the highest ranked players in the playoffs. Leaf has big shoes to fill, which is a situation we did not expect to see ourselves in, but is genuinely the truth. Like, where other players on G2 in the playoffs have maybe been lacking in terms of the fragging, kind of looking at Trent at the moment, honestly. But Baby Bay has been the guy to step up for them and really perform in the server.
Then why is he not playing?
By the way, this is a less played map for SEN, but on 100 Thieves, this was his bread and butter, dominant. Over on the B side of the map, especially on defense.
His anchoring is really phenomenal. Jonah wants to get aggressive there, take a timing against an R8, but ultimately shower control is going to be lost for the defenders.
Knows he gets a free orb there, is able to pull out.
I mentioned it on the prior round in the case of Zekken, but when you're running this double duelist comp, you just want to be min-maxing orbs as much as possible and just cycling Showstopper after Dimensional Drift for
Noted.
powerful executes converted into round wins.
Balan is now on the A side of the map, playing that more standard lamps position and is throwing that one way towards short. The attention seems to be more so over towards the B side now for Sentinels. Orb still there for the taking, so they can have both this round.
G2, they have stacked up here. SEN could try to teleport away, but that's not going to be the case. They are going right in there. Narrate with the first.
Remember, the guns are awkward here. There's 2 rifles for G2. They've really got to squeeze some value out. It's going to be tremendous.
SEN?
And then Jonah chimes in. SEN mill around for quite some time and eventually serve up a steaming
SEN?
thrifty for G2.
G2 just have the read on the situation that after that shower control was taken by Narrate, expecting that he probably would teleport back towards Fountain. You know, kind of a standard opening for the Yoru. They go stack 4 players over on the B site. Perfect read on the situation. Look at SEN. They're running into a 3-pronged crossfire, trying to get out of that smoke into the site.
I mean, Jonah's involved in every elimination that round. That was a massive horn that set some easy classic kills up for Trent inside the smoke.
SEN will still have more than enough cash for a buy there, but Jaw is now got the operator. Gonna be a value here, second over the top.
Okay, is eventually fell by Jonah P there. Orbital strike over towards Trent.
Nightmare, take them.
Jonah was going to be in trouble either way, but Leaf has found himself 2 out of fence, now going for the annihilation. Narrate's able to catch on the jaw, but Leaf can lock it down. And Zelsa's eventually will descend into Shelove's lair. I'm glad he's not just stepping into Dre's shoes in-game, apparently.
That was some sick anchoring and a combination of ultimates as well coming out from G2. That Armageddon to flush everything out of showers straight into the waiting hands of Leaf. It was looking good for SEN as well. They've been doing a good job finding these opening kills. Okay. Yeah, all right.
That is absurd.
Is it a little easy?
I haven't played the game in 2 weeks! You got
It's 3-3.
He's taken after Dre, hasn't he?
I'm sorry, that
It's 3-3 now.
isn't it?
All right, Narrate's got that drift that he's been farming for the last couple rounds, getting orbs, getting a lot of info, gets the control of lamps as well, so SEN should be able to get in here. And it looks like they want to take some control, perhaps back site. The smoke's placed for Heaven, but they're not able to do it.
Steltron gets in very deep onto the side here, and
G2 have so much space to get back in, and they want to do it.
Trent's already inching his way out of fence now. Here's the guided salvo. Jonah's able to find Zelsa stood on the side itself, but there was still a stick. Narrate sitting tight inside lamps, Shorty out inside the pit.
Yeah, it's all about finding success in this Viper's pit. Find a kill. Second is going to get the first. There's a showstopper as well.
Doesn't connect. Valen's able to bring him down in midair, but Narrate goes to work
with
inside
the
holes
fucking
anyway. Rifle now
rocket
out, ready to
launcher,
go.
like-
Trent steps forward. There's a poison orb in the way. That was just a tap of the spike. Narrate though has got a timing. Surely Bang should be able to hold his ground here, and he does. The Viper's pit instrumental, and now Narrate steps up. A little bit wayward. Jonah knocked low, but Narrate now might need to rely on Bang, and he delivers at least one. Trent, no time to work with him, knows it. Has to sheepishly back away from the spike and work it out alive. It's SEN. Edge back out in front.
And this is the exact kind of performance that you want to see from
That was 3
Bang.
odds.
You mentioned it, but on this map, he is an absolute force. That was always the case with 100 Thieves in the past. This round was 100% reliant on him in that pit to come up huge. SEN had those smokes placed for way back towards Heaven, but G2 just regained all the space. That pit was the only option, the only win con that they had left, and they make it work.
Yeah, he's in that foothold there in that post plant on A, and G2 cannot get in for the life of them. Jaw's got himself an up.
Oh, shit. Bye.
Trent
Can't
here with a
hear it.
shoulder pick
Oh.
now, won't see a whole lot of action. No presence at all over on the A side of the map for Sentinel so far. They're going to work B with a split.
Jaw has that shower control opposite side with the off. Sentinel's going to be able to get another one of these orbs. They want to prio it to John. He's got the Nightfall available now. They can leave Narrate inserted over towards B long. And perhaps if a Prowler comes, he'll be able to show presence and break it. But then he has that gate crash going all the way back towards short so he can meet up with the rest of the team.
It's going to be annoying. Narrate able to clear that stealth drone, so G2 still have to stay here.
This is exactly what SEN want to do, right? They want to keep that presence being shown here and then suddenly burst into that A site when Narrate teleports away.
Oh man, he's so annoying. He's able to gate crash out as well. But
And
it's
here
going to
it
play
is.
and who can still wire?
Here comes that Nightfall going to Get the tag on the Valen, who's going to be fully routed out of the sight.
Bang's getting some serious penetration over towards the B side, though. He might catch straight on the rotate. It's an opening here, a TP play at the disposal of Sentinels, but they're staying at A. They stick it there as well.
Yeah, they go for a relatively safe plan, and Leaf is able to get that first. Bit of a spray through smoke, instant trade.
Okay, Narek caught in the grab net though, and Jonah's able to find him. Zelsis doesn't need to overextend from this spot, but Jaw is inside Shao.
And one of the problems is Bang is still miles away. He has to get here in time to help Zekin.
He's been sprinting. Paint shells here. Valen just teases that out. There's also a snake bite on the spike. Zekin's got to be wary. Bang in trouble. Jaw's able to trade him out. Now Zekin will fall. It's tit for tat stuff here on Bind. G2 lock it down on the retake.
This is 2 rounds in a row where G2 have done a great job on that A site of maintaining control of that entire back half. SEN are not able to get that forward control, so G2 can apply a lot of pressure right back onto the site.
Leaf is in a great spot to catch a rotate off that side through the TP anyway, but Valen, even though being hit by Nightfall, didn't fall off the side entirely.
And SEN, you know, yeah, exactly. It's like those little things, right, that are adding up. He's not giving up all of that space, isn't forced to give up all that space. Jaw retains control of Shower. Great retake positions, despite SEN's seeming success on the past couple rounds, getting the spike down. They are dead broke.
Be a fight here. Jaw catches Narrate straight away.
Like,
And he's able to fall back, of course, with a gate crash. Zekin wants himself the orb for his trouble, and he'll have it. The weapons are not good here for Sentinels.
And the money isn't good for G2, so crucial for them, the tail end of this half, that they get a very clean anti-eco and retain these rifles, the operator for Jaw, which is starting to pay dividends now.
So how do they piece this out? Because now they don't really have the ability to work the other extremity of the map. They've lost that Yoru piece. No orb, of course. Jaw going to be lined up pretty nicely for this. G2 adamant about anchoring the back part of this A side, no matter what round it's been. Valen just crushes Zelsis, who's had a quiet opening to the series so far. And is surely going to work. Bang gets in there, Frenzy fires off. Valen's forced to back away here, and there's Bang picked up the op, goes to work with it. A little bit dangerous.
Might at least have an opportunity here for a plant, get some more cash for SEN on the future rounds.
Backside, yeah, that's where G2 are filtering into now. One in the chamber for Bang, but it doesn't connect. Again, that's a pretty minimal investment there for Sentinels. A recovered operator tears 2 away from G2.
Get away with 3 guns on that. Definitely want to look at the alt situation.
happened,
G2
man?
have some significant ones to play with against SEN, who are lacking for any at all. G2 with a dimensional drift, orbital strike heading into this next round. And those can be a nice little combo as well. Pinging players out with a dimensional drift, getting an orbital strike in. Jonah getting a seize in there as well, calling out a player position from that Yoru ult.
This is reminiscent actually of some of the adjustments that C9 made against Sentinels across a couple of maps in that series, is trying to catch Sen as they're hitting that site fast. Sentinels are playing with that level of disrespect.
We
And
don't
that's why
need
here
to
we're seeing
timeout yet.
Leaf play ahead of the Heaven Smoke. That's why we're seeing Valen being really reluctant to fall off the site entirely. G2 don't want to put themselves into a retake scenario against this Sen team, and I'd say the inverse will be true on the other side. Sen are going to be playing against the Deadlock. When they move to defense, they can't afford to do that either. They can't afford to give the site, to let the Deadlock set up, put a wall in your way, and force you to retake from one singular angle.
I want to see if over on that A side, SEN are going to adjust their play in regard to how those backside fights or lack of are really happening. If they can maybe try to find a timing where you could have Narrate pop a flash out from one of those site smokes, swing out with Zekin, try and catch that timing where G2 are getting back in through backside, through Heaven. So it's been that transitional moment where G2 are just overwhelming them on the A takes.
It's going to be a really chaotic start to the round. Nose is pressed to the barrier here. Looks like it's a really early Prowler off rip. Narrate might want to imply some short control.
I mean, it's looking like we just want to go for a fast hit. Zekin is caught up right now in the seas, but no one will be there to spam away.
There is a sonic sensor ahead of them though. They've got to be a little bit careful they don't walk into that. There's a grab there aspect of it coming out. Special delivery fed straight
What's
back
my
to Trent
team
at the train.
doing?
Bang able to
Neither
get
of
that
these are
shot
my
up before
teams,
the
so that's
ability
what I'm playing,
actually
yeah.
concussed him, and now Zekin, aggression.
Valen's not sure about how to work this. He wanted to push out of vents there for a moment, but he actually backs off. He'll have to support Leap, but they still have backside control.
Okay, okay, that's a good ult. That's good.
Get tickled by that orbital strike, but Sen have had to retreat
Force
here to the
3 of them
extremities
out.
of A short.
Jaws pushed up so far, scoped in with the AWP in the corner. A little ridiculous. What's going to happen here, though? Sen have fully cut noise, but Jaw, he's getting that passive information towards B. So these G2 players, they're not going to move. Leaf and Valen, they are steadfast in the positions right now. Jaw's even creeping more further forward, and now they have the audio cue on Bang.
There's no one to really cover Bang from that position. John is trying to watch, I think, get towards that Lance position. Can't see Valen.
I can't believe Bang is alive, down to 7 HP, and
The contact take. Valen wins it out. It's going to be Zekken
Good
eventually
picks.
starting to open things up a bit more. Valen's going to be forced off this line. John's still teasing a plant, but not quite sticking it. Zelsis is set up in shower, though.
they get the info on Leaf and a fast trade from Zelsis.
Could be
That
one.
was crucial.
Good reposition there from
Zelsis,
Valen
John
now
QT
again,
versus
still
Valen.
controlling that backside. The anchoring has been important
They
for
won.
G2, but they cannot hold on.
5 to 5.
A huge noise cut there from Sen. And they actually lose out early on that player towards lamp side, still recover.
Yeah, they take that really fast execute
Okay.
in towards A. They do actually fight through lamps. They do get a kill backside, and then they retreat, play things slowly.
That's
Second
interesting.
was well aware that a flank could have been coming from Jaw through market. Catches him for free.
I think like
Great trading, really. I mean, that bonus
Who is that?
gets
Who
the
is
kill.
that
It's
back
instant
there?
From Zelsis to get that one back onto him.
yeah, they had the time to set up those really nice crossfires.
And this game has been so back and forth. G2, they're already on an eco now. Just one round lost, and they are relegated to Sheriffs.
They're going A.
It's an even game here heading into the 11th.
Me when I
Owen's
lie.
economy has been safe, and that's why Narrate has picked up the Outlaw here. He has been purchasing that a couple times on attack.
Stealth drone here is just going to try and clear up short.
Does get the spot on Zekken, and Zekken he gets the spot on him. Going to be forced back by that haunt.
It's a pretty aggressive position inside hookah there for Valen. Really pushed up on that edge.
He's just ready to throw out a flash for his teammates again. Narrate is working towards short, just hoping that someone is going to show themselves on that A side. Okay, a G2 moment.
He was looking for it.
That's a G2 moment.
Leaf could be spotted out here, actually affected by that boom block. Now back over towards the site. 38 seconds left of the round. We have the dimensional drift now from Jaw. There's definitely plenty of information to be gained on this part of the map.
And Leaf is trying to entrench himself here over towards Lamps. He's going to have support from Trent back sight. Can he catch a timing?
Oh, ugly. Okay, Leaf's able to get away with it though, but he's stacked up with Trent inside Lamps here. And Zekken's ready for a backstab attempt. It's going to be Trent winning it out. Over on that Lamp side now, the options are getting limited for Sentinels. They've got to make a play here, but Jonah is a problem. Another Sheriff pick. Down to Zelsis and Narrate, and they're just caught milling.
Sentinels are throwing. They're throwing.
A full capitulation for Sentinels there.
Second time they've been ecoed in this half by G2, and more than anything, it's come down to good positional play from G2. Neither of their ecos were just a guy randomly gets a couple Sheriff kills.
These plays that are being made.
No, they actually
This needs to be
outplayed
looked
Sen
at.
in the macro game. On the prior one, they stacked the right site.
Can
And
we
on
get the
this
E-Sec
one,
in here?
Off of Jaw's ultimate,
Or
committing a
E-Sec, my bad.
dimensional
E-Sec.
drift on a pure eco.
Sports
all of the information for the
Integrity
team
Committee.
to fully
him
encircle
in here?
Sen on this A site. Helps as well when Valen just gets the run and gun stinger kill. But
He was waiting inside hookah, holding a very close angle. Then he goes looking and goes up against a player who's better equipped than he is, still wins that out. And all of a sudden, it just starts to come down like a house of cards.
you could just
Rifty.
feel from the point of views of the Sentinels player, the walls closing in on them, the pressure that they were under. You could feel it getting dangerous.
Let's
I
go
mean, Poppy ran a hookah straight off the rip. Better weapons
G2.
for G2. Sen already down to an awkward buy in this last round of the half. But the buck is pretty well appointed in that position.
Just didn't have an opportunity to actually.
If you satcheled
click
forward
the
there,
house
he
one
low-key
more
gets
time.
two.
Probably would have
Hot
gotten that
take.
kill on Jonah. Zekken had a showstopper that's not even going to be able to be used in this half.
Already down 2 players, and like you said, yeah, no chance in this half of that.
That being said, every remaining Sentinels player will have an opportunity to use an ultimate here, and it's maybe going to start with Narrate.
That was the B-side gate crash faked. It does pull G2 out to have a look and confirm.
Alan wants to get in back sight. Oh no, he's being botted!
That is so rude. Narrate though, Caught inside the vestiges of the dimensional drifts. It takes some team damage, and then from the molly as well. Awkward stuff, but he's in and on the site. That's the most important part. Eventually, G2 getting cleared
Like,
out.
what did I say? What did I say?
Here and not give this space up for free. Now has to walk into the fight. Taz bangs head off.
Oh my god, and he just gets out of there, waiting for his teammate. Valen
What
is
did I
playing
say?
so intelligently.
And there's no plant still. Zelsis doesn't have the space. Nice shot here on the Leafs direction, and Valen. Oh yeah, that's a captain's round for you.
Is that Aura?
It's just Valen looking like he did last week against NRG as well. Look, I mean, it's literally the same. Jonah and Valen are the two players with the most kills on G2. There's something about this map where that duo just activates. But he played this so intelligently, man. Every single kill, he didn't get greedy. He didn't go for more. He just throws out a stim, runs away with the extra speed, comes back in when his teammate was wrapping from hookah. It's so smart.
Zelsis studiously ignoring Valen to the best. He knows he's standing up. He's full aware of that. 7 and 5 at the half. G2 get a couple crucial rounds to put them in the lead halfway through Bives.
I know what you're thinking. Total glow up. What's her secret?
What?
Fine. I'll spill.
Who are you?
I totally upgraded with Verizon. Everyone gets a free phone with any plan.
Who is that?
Even if you're already a customer. Like me. Now I have Google Gemini. It's like a little glam squad in my pocket. Gemini, what eye makeup goes with this lipstick?
I'd suggest a classic cat eye.
Wow. Setting the bar high for daycare pickup.
Who is that?
Get in on this.
She hot. She's hot, man. Oh, yeah. This is a win for SEN today. Unless they have an insane map 2 and 3. Yeah. Are you guys watching the same map I just watched? Like,
G2 running it back from last week with Valen and Jonah P leading the charge. Some fantastic clutch situations. The most recent there, that round 12 where Valen plays to perfection over on that B side, completely undoing Sentinels and particularly Zelsis.
Over for SEN, it has been all about Bang. He is in top form today. We didn't see that in his last match against
why is my
Cloud9.
duelist
It was a
negative?
Rare underperformance from the
Fucking
man who's been
Jogamo 7
positive
and
in
10.
every single series he's had in stage 2 until that match, and he has bounced back immediately.
What can he do on this defense side? He's notorious for being a dominant player from that position.
His anchoring on B is mental, but right now G2, they've inserted themselves into lamps, trying to get some forward positions, play around this wall from Leaf and get a safe plant if they can.
The wall really breaks up back sight a little bit there. You can sort of see it can be skirted around by Narrate, and he does so. Second so far, playing inside his smoke, and he's caught Jonah already with a paint shell, but the spike was stuck.
He's just able to lob that over. Leaf is tucked into the corner. This is a cheeky little position.
Everyone's in smoke! No one can see anything! Narrate with his back there, the Leaf gets caught out. John here on the swing, and the timings have been very good here for G2.
John,
Okay.
he can't do anything at half range. He's just stuck in lamps now.
Whatever he can get. Now eyes over towards that Lamps direction. Trent a little ostracized here inside shower. Valen knew that Zek will be taking the fight to him, and Josh found another timing. He just,
Oh, no.
just moves out of Lamps
Oh,
at his own opportunity. And there's no reprisal, there's no trade. It is so hard for Sen to get a defuse here. And he's going to keep popping out, taking a shot, pops back down. That is whack-a-mole on hard mode.
That is unbelievable. SEN trying their hardest to just avoid him. If we don't look at him, if we don't acknowledge him, Jaw isn't real. He can't hurt us from lamps. but he just finds the perfect moments to get back out of there and flank them.
And that is such a chaotic round. You can see that so much play through these smokes. That's the Seize Nade combo, of course, that accounts for Jonah. Like, how is Jaw not spotted? The crossfires here for G2, just sublime.
They were so good, and there was that moment as well where Nere just isolates himself trying to take showers, gets dealt with, but anyhow, fast into the next. It's G2 with, I mean, would hate to be second in this situation.
Yeah, he takes that early play over towards the TP side, and now is sheepishly backing up. Caught inside the grab net. Nice little answer to him. He'll be stuck there for most of the round. There's a sonic sensor as well outside the door.
There's a sonic sensor outside the door.
He went for the Spectre. You're supposed to buy a Stinger in this situation, but it's all right.
He hasn't played 2 weeks.
Yeah,
yet,
he hasn't
fine.
played for a while. It's his first game back. It's kind of the Stinger. That's kind of your team's thing, but
Sen looking for a more of a longer range engagement here, and well, better weapon wins. At least that's been the case for G2.
We're shooting bodies now. Okay.
Celsius will, yeah, I'll wait the 4 horsemen now, just tucked in this corner, eventually to be dug out by Valen, who can just run and gun. And all of a sudden, G2, you blink, and they add 4 rounds to their total, already putting Sen, I mean, underwater.
the SEN who are going to have to deal with the exact same situation they put G2 in, which was bonus round, whole lot of Stingers going to run it down on them.
It is terrifying how frequently this pays off in Americas, especially.
Oh, and especially so for G2. They invented this. Butter. All right, let's see if SEN can stop the bleeding and get back into this game.
They're taking some long lines on the A side.
Oh my god, that's a crazy lineup.
That's the second round in a row that Zekin's been caught by an early grab net off the rib.
Yeah, he has to try to get back into laps, retain some positioning, swing off that Prowler.
Jordan, he had so much damage to Zekin. He just styled on him, bro. He just did the Dougie on that boy.
not the shorty and lamps again, man.
Oh shit,
Somebody
wait,
get
I
stretched.
kinda
Bro,
need
he is
to...
vibing. Last 4 rounds, Jorgamo has been massive. Now, it's 2 rifles handed over to G2.
I mean, this one's just done. Time to save.
Okay, bye.
Time to save.
The last time, I love to call out from Mimi earlier, the last time we saw Sentinels on this map, they got 1 round against Liquid. So not exactly their best outing. And that was kind of maybe fed into the conversation that Kaplan started, saying like, our map pool is kind of shallow. And when we get dragged into these best of 5s, or if we want to be getting into these best of 5s as a team of globals, or here in, you know, potential grand final, we need a deeper pool.
Yeah, that depth is absolutely
I
required.
have my laptop.
Kind of feels like at the moment for G2, I mean, what are they missing? Corrode? That's really it, right? They're trying to figure themselves out on that map. But outside of that, they're looking solid on everything. Like, we didn't know what their bind was like until they debuted against NRG last week. And evidently, this is just the home ground of Valen and Jonah.
And we might have seen this last week because they actually floated this map against NRG. Just never ended up getting it.
Jaw is a menace in lamps.
Bro, his ankles, man. Come on. Yep, that Stinger combo.
He's been on a heater too, Jaw. Some of the best plays he's had all year has been this playoff run. I think he's the 2nd highest rated ACS at the moment.
Not just Yoru all the time.
Yeah, he's finally getting to play some other ages too. Not really the case here. Leaf.
That's an offense side outlaw.
Shades of narrate on that first half. He was
I just
pushing
have
down
to,
short,
you know,
waiting
finish,
for a defender to peek. Instant kill onto Zekin. This is a Sentinels who are fully forced up. It's resulted in Celsius just having the Stinger to play with.
And again, the likelihood of G2 giving them anything for free here is pretty low. G2 looking to work the map. They've got extensive showers control. That was a gate crash out of A by Narrate. Bolstering that B-side presence. That leaves Celsius alone at A, though, and that is where G2 might be looking to end.
You know, situations like this, you know, when we've seen other teams running this double duelist, you would love to have Celsius really fight doggedly for this space and lamps, not give it up so the rest of the team can flood back in. This comp, it's about speed, it's about flooding, fighting together, putting pressure when the spike is going down. But you know, G2, they've been able to circumvent those situations so far. They do it yet again here. Full retake needs to be activated for Sentinels, and it needs to be a success. Their economy is really, really bad right now.
These crossfires have already been set up, Wyatt. G2 have fallen back into those strong positions, and Sen now have to take the side. They do have the flash to work with. Oh dear. And a molly that wasn't blocked. Yeah. That's going to give them the hot foot and force SEN to disperse away from the spike for the time being. That was a little angle, maybe even a timing over the top here. John able to find one, narrates, rifle chimes in. John has been marked. They can just sort of try and take a swing on this step. Maybe just force John off the side, and yet it's another save here for Sentinels. And they are very quickly losing their grip on this game. No encounter over at the TP. G2 will stay. Hatch is battened.
Nothing that SEN could do. G2 are so patient there. They really over-indexed in waiting for that molly to come down and body blocking it. Couldn't do that. Didn't get on the spike earlier to really get it to half. Time just dwindled way too far. And G2 are just patiently waiting behind these smokes. Didn't need to do a thing.
Move, Alex, you big body. If I die, I swear to gosh.
Thanks for keeping it real rated G for us on that.
I don't think I've ever heard someone say, I swear to gosh. I'm really impressed at his composure in that moment. Obviously a very necessary timeout here called by Sentinels. An awkward couple of rounds. Finally a chance to buy in, and there's a showstopper here for Zekin, but outside of that, I mean, they have done nothing in this second half.
Going to imagine it's just going to be a hard force, invest everything they can. They get away with a couple rifles. That showstopper is going to need to be everything for them to stay in this game. G2 are on a 6-round run at the moment. Started at the end of that first defensive half.
I'm submitting my college
shot straight back
right
up
now.
to the top of the scoreboard here in this second half. This player has been great for him. Number 2 in ACS and KPR. In the entirety of Americas, of course. And again, not just in that Yoru jail, really flexing around a whole ton. Back to his roots in a way.
Oh, there you go. It's Leaf's first deadlock game in his career. He's not doing too bad. Playing pretty well. This comp from G2 so far, nothing but success. Sound win against NRG, and it looks like they're going to repeat the same against Sentinels unless they can come back in this crucial round. Everything invested. Zekin is caught yet again.
Delta's able to avoid the annihilation. Crucially, Narrate has to hold his ground. It's coming too fast here for Sentinels to clearly deal with. It is Zekin showstopper. That strikes at the heart and takes the Brimstone out of the game. Jonah's up on the cubby though, catches bang as he walks on out. Does he know there's a player backside? 2 of them are there. Sentinels gamble correctly. End up in the right place.
G2 just come out with the fastest of fast hits. SEN stacked up and ready. Good little double face at the end. They're out of the smoke to clean things up. It looked like Jonah may have a chance to wrangle that round back. Showstopper gets great value. Zekin getting back in after being caught in the net for the third time instantly. I mean, these net lineups from Leaf have been doing a lot of early value.
Moments like that, it seems like where Sentinels are a bit more comfortable. Many such rounds against C9 where they simply took these aggressive fights. So look how far forward on this B side they're playing wide. They want another close fight.
They want to fight over this orb because Josh surely is going to go for trying to get that dimensional drift. Punish. Well, he'll have it for the next round. Narrate deals with him effectively. Valen going to get the orbital strike though. Still so many ultimates going to be available in the near future for G2. And Leaf is on point today.
Still deep anchor positions for the remainder of SEN here on B.
Really feels like he never left, honestly. Hasn't skipped a beat.
I don't think he was telling the truth about the 2 weeks not playing thing, honestly. Just makes it sound worse, but...
That's possible. He plays a lot of RuneScape. How much he was really playing Valen.
I'll be right back.
So far, he's definitely been farming level 99 in this game.
Narrate's on that rotate towards elbow to set up a good crossfire here with Celsius. Try and play off this wall that they've got. Smoke's going to be dropped. Celsius is now, I believe, fully covered up, so we'll have an opportunity to pop out that right side just in case, but he wants to go forward.
Leaf is watching this. Honestly, we can hear the sonic sensor. Narrate's able to win out against Jonah and flash himself out of that smoke, if I'm not mistaken, and Zelsis is slowing things down from Hookah.
Both SEN players are just isolated little mini games right now. Zelsis, that timing.
Oh, it's a rat! Valen shot in the back as well. Won't be given a chance to escape, but that spike is out in the open. Trent with nothing to do. I pack it in for the next round and send scrape 2 together.
Narrate really finds his footing in this round. Big impact. Like it's SEN, super aware that G2 are going to really try to get towards those orbs with multiple players just being one away. So they fight over that B control, especially you can just have your Yoru here in front of the smoke. He can teleport away, wins that duel against Jaw. And then from there, look at that timing again out of the smoke.
Zelsus is smoking like that position over and over.
So literally narrating Zelsus, the two of them just kind of working together with Util, or at least Zelsus giving him smokes and stuff, and you know, Bang putting the wall up and down, but they are just playing their own little 1v1 games, and they won both of them. Here's that dimensional drift that Jaw got on the prior round. Second wants to avoid being caught in the grab net this time, and he does it.
That's a very nerdy grab net. Set up, there's Narrate. That takes Trent out of the equation here. No Teho on deck. Okay, flash out of the smoke again for Jaw. Oh, man. Oh, that's a problem. That might be a slight wrinkle in the plan here for Sentinels, Wyatt.
That is just outrageous from Jaw. Narrate, unfortunately, stumbling his way into those bullets at the end. And this should be it for Sentinels. Maybe Bang could try to make something happen. He's got a lot of cash right now. Maybe get that first kill towards Lamps. Trying to do something. I mean, Leaf's precision with these has been unbelievable.
Yeah, you have to be really preemptive with this deadlock utility normally, right? Can't just throw it out willy-nilly. It doesn't get you that value, but Leaf has really got his finger on the pulse of what SEN are trying to do and the pace they're trying to play at.
Yeah, we haven't seen a ton of deadlock this year, so we haven't really witnessed the changes to her be exploited in that you're getting the net as your signature ability. But Leaf is making the most of it. He's definitely making the most of it. I've not seen so many of those connect in one game, I don't think ever.
And many of them are set plays as well, off the start of the round. Let's have a look at this multi-kill.
Mental from Jaw. I mean, I can't blame Zekken for trying to be able to get the kill when he's getting out of the dimensional drift. But it's such a chaotic moment that Zelsus, he doesn't even realize he's exposing himself to that potential angle, because why would that be a potential angle to die from? The moment is just far, far too chaotic to realize that Jaw could get a free kill there.
Because a chance for multiple Sentinels ultimates to be developed off orbs at the start of this round. They had no control of the A side orb. So that will go to Leaf. A bit more tentative here, yeah. Over on the B side, I think they would love a Nightfall for John. The threat of that operator is going to stave them off for now. Okay, Narrate just takes the fight, man. Every now and then he just mixes something like that in. Works out just as often as not. What an important round for him to get an edge of just a raw swing.
He is really starting to light up G2 on defense. John wants to even the odds, playing with this operator. Narrate can take that first contact, teleport away, and then you have Zekken controlling over towards Lamps. And that's another free one.
Narrate's done his job.
Staying for more.
Yeah, done more than enough, I would like to think. Zekken losing out, though. That's a value losses. Well, now there's going to be Lamps control set up for G2. Yeah, they'll be slowed up here a little bit. That's to be expected. In the meantime, Bang is wending his way towards them on his late wrap.
Yeah, that'll allow Bang to maybe get a better, more optimal timing on this flank.
Face your fear.
SEN have a little bit of utility to get back in with on John. He's got that Haunt, Prowler, etc.
Spike planted.
John is watching for this. They spot out Bang. He just needs to live. He just needs to be a nuisance.
Yep, keep him contained here on short. The best thing he can be doing right now. And there's the orbital strike. That's Armageddon. And Zelsus lances them out of existence.
That is some excellent utility in the moment, and just the realization, you know, the calls from Bang coming there, that
was
him
contained.
being alive, he's got them, yeah, contained towards Lamps. He sees, wait, they're all getting stacked up there. We can absolutely destroy them with some util. Frankly, I was really worried there for a moment for SEN. Narrate did so much, but then overstays his welcome, doesn't teleport away, gets caught. Second
Nice,
the
boys.
duel.
Let's go. Let's bring this shit back. Let's go. Hey, composure.
For that trio, win it out with some really fantastic team play, some good decision-making in the moment, syncing up that utility.
Armageddon up here for Trent. For the first time this game, I think we've seen it. Dimensional drift, though, is going to be ready. Is that Armageddon cutting through? Just clears that backside position, denies triple, followed up by a stealth drone. All the info, all the positioning here for G2.
Get that wall placed very deep as well, so Zekken going to have to spend some time breaking that. However, the plant is temporarily denied by defender utility coming through. I don't even know if Zekken is aware that that wall is right in front of them, to be honest, because there's a dimensional drift running in now, and that'll give the info. Narrate,
He's able to get through it.
able to circumvent all of that, able to get into showers, even Nightfall.
It's a pretty good nightfall. Yeah, two players now. They know there's some heavy presence over towards the Lamb's direction, but Narrate loses out there as he comes out of deep drift. And Jaw, feet planted inside Lamb's, impossible to clear until John finally carves him out with the operator. But that's SEN now down to 2 players. 4 up for G2, and Zelsus has to go looking for something, an edge to find. It's the Tehu off the map. Spots leaf as the smoke clears, but it's not enough. And it's like he's not missed a day of regulation play. Leaf ends the game with a fancy little 2K to make it a convincing bind outing for G2.
That was some of the best deadlock play I've ever seen. Honestly, all of the utility pieces were getting massive value. Ends that game
Tops
with
the
the
scoreboard,
highest
doesn't he?
ACS player.
Yeah.
Nice little return for Leaf, and honestly would expect nothing less. I mean, this was the man who was the best player for G2 throughout that first half of the year before he had to take a break. And he is back in top form just as he left. I just love the way that G2 play this map with the comp, the layers of utility that they have to stall out SEN. You're playing against a double duelist comp that thrives on flooding back into these sites, but look at this. There's no situation where SEN are actually able to get back in to fight over the spike, over the plant. They're just stuck in spawn because it's too much. There's the walls, there can be missiles from Trent. What are they supposed to do? The comp is not able to operate as intended with the way that G2 are playing.
And G2 are not giving up that back A side, right? They're anchoring these sites really, really effectively, slowing things up. Some concerns about the map pool surely going forward here for Sentinels. They're trying to expand it, but it's a bit of a sloppy showing on Bind. Hopefully Sunset is more promising for them.
Who's gonna stop me? Get it in road. Living the life I will keep on control. Giving it up to my people stand tall. You know the deal, I will give it my all.
Underrepresented on the move. Really wanna start me, let me through.
Take a risk, take a ride with me. Wanna flip society. Underdog overlooked. Underestimated, I don't lose. Take a risk, take a ride with me. On the edge, looking down from a cliff.
be a good enough trade for Valen, though. Now Jonah P down long, getting wrapped around behind. Surely he can't get a kill for me. What is happening? Jonah P is remarkable.
John knows that he's got time again to play with. Once more, Paranoia is forced out. Vic with a TP up towards the box, towards the top. But John is lights out and sharp as anything.
I'm here with Josh RT and Baby Bay ahead of map 2. And Josh, looking at that, it looked like getting back on the bike, no training wheels required. Coming into today, though, were there any reservations? Were you worried at all about the team finding their groove? And second, how are you going to take down Sentinels on their Sunset?
Of course, with a strong opponent like Sen, there's always going to be some doubts about damn, can Nate perform at this level right away? We only had 4 days of practice with them. And obviously there's a lot of question marks, especially with how well we were playing before, but we were confident with this move. And for the next map, we've been preparing this for a while, and I always think we'll take on any challenge, but obviously they're a really good team, so who knows?
And Dre, what do you think Josh really meant by that?
Sorry for taking the mic, bro. All right, so basically what he was trying to say is, now we were not nervous at all. We knew Leaf, we knew Nate was going to come here to drop bombs. We knew he was going to be ready. And we're ready for Sunset, bro. Sen are definitely nervous right now. That's what he was trying to say. All right, bet.
All right, sounds great. Guys, take it away. Good luck, good luck.
Okay, wait, let me find out that Baby Bay is Josh RT's anger translation manager, the translator. Remember that from the Chappelle show or even Key and Peele? It's too good. This is too good. Even Baby Bay being there, giving the intangibles, being the guy.
He looks as excited backstage as he was on stage when he was making the plays.
Oh, man. Also, he committed the one crime of taking the microphone off of Rivington's head.
Sitting back there sipping his Red Bull.
Sip that Red Bull, bro. Look
and
at
that's a high-impact assistant coach. You don't have every other assistant coach in the league back there going, yeah, and sipping.
He's just cycling through his emotes in the back, waiting to find the right one.
Oh, too good, too good. But of course, so reflecting on the match itself, G2 just continued to show why they are such a dominant team here. And even though that first half was, a bit neck and neck, right? Trading rounds here and there, it then ultimately came down to Mimi, just G2 in that second half, running away with it.
The big thing for me, too, is Leaf is back. His first game since Masters Toronto. Topping the charts for G2. Wow. He played really well, locking in the deadlock, which we hadn't seen a ton of from him before. But this was a dominant showing, especially after the halftime.
Yeah, after halftime, G2 just started running these A-hits on repeat, which Leaf was a part of, dropping this wall into backside. And this round was crazy because he just hides in the left corner of the brim smoke on the pistol. It's a 4v5, no one clears the corner, and the retake comes in.
And look at that stat there, 67% pistol win rate. G2 has been dominant in these early rounds. In this game, they win out on the bonus as well that we're about to take a look at. And these are why they keep on snowballing early halves.
And this is the utility I was talking about from Leaf, right? Crouches Zekin up on the high angle, so he's forced to fall off the site. So G2 kept getting very easy positions to play on site because there wasn't that forward contest. They're able to put down the deadlock wall and just filter in, playing heavy in garage and lamps.
It's a big difference from the first half, where I thought Sen did a good job of trying to fight forward and disrupt the defensive util dump. But on their own defense side, they were the ones getting pushed into, getting bowled over by G2, and they just ran away with the first map of the series.
It just goes to show you, right, when it comes to players like Leaf, what he brings to the table. He takes a sentinel defensive character and manages to make all the utility very aggressive, very interface. It's just more of the things of what this guy brings to the table here. Now, of course, so Sentinels far from out of this one. Let's see what's going on with Coach Kaplan, as Rivington got some words with him ahead of map 2.
I am here with Kaplan ahead of map 2. It is going to be Sentinel Sunset that you're going to. So I want to look ahead, but also look backwards as to what do you think G2 is kind of doing to get under your skin there on Bind, and what are you going to be looking for on Sunset?
Yeah, I think that map and both our comps, it's about as snowball-y as Valorant gets, and there was just a few rounds you can't afford to lose when you're in that much of a snowball fest. Sunset, I think it's a lot less like that. I think their comp has some problems they can't run from, and we're a lot comfier on our solutions. And yeah, it's a best of 3. We're just going to win 2 of the 3 maps.
All right, hope you can still get the ball rolling on the next map. Good luck.
You.
And they most definitely will need to if they want to try and force that map 3 on Haven. Of course, Sunset will be the battleground for map 2 here. We'll see what we get out of this. And Ender, I mean, there's a litany of things that they could pull out. Both teams, really, they have so many, they have a lot of versatility. Surely we'll find something here.
Yeah, well, what I'm interested in is that last comment that Kaplan makes. They're saying that the comp has a lot of holes that they can't run away from. G2 are playing a comp with a Chamber in there and a Sage in there, so double Sentinel, but also no Viper, so no second layer of smoke, so Lurk's a little bit harder to activate on, and information is a gap that maybe Sentinels want to exploit.
Yeah, you only have the Chamber trip and then the util from the Fade, so you get pretty reliant on heavy stacking one side with the Sentis and re-clearing on the other.
And the other thing was the way that Jonah P was playing the Sage was very aggressive, and I think if Sentinels can force him out of playing B main early in rounds, G2's defense will struggle.
It's all about wasting the wall, wasting the Sage util. Your game gets so much easier after that.
You heard our analysts. Let's see what Sentinels can do to force that Mat 3. For now, though, you got Uber and Wyatt are going to meet you guys on the other side after this short break.
Sunset on the horizon after we see Sentinels bind for the first time in quite some time, and probably left a little bit to be desired if you're part of Sen City. However, this is their map pick. Sunset coming in hot, and here are your agents. Both these teams with very different takes on this map, and yeah, we've seen consistency. G2 are going to go with this Sage and Chamber looks. Leaf going to step straight into that role again. Been on that agent a bunch in the past that look really good. With Sentinels, this is where John goes back to playing that Cypher, and of course they've got the Breach. Old school look here from Sen.
Old school, because this has just always been a home map for them, and this is the comp that's been a recipe for very continued success on it. And I think when you're looking at this Sentinels map pool overall, you're needing Sunset to be right up there at the top, as it was for them throughout their run last year in 2024, right? Where they were able to lean on this. This year it's been a lot about Lotus, it's been a lot about Corrode since that's entered the pool. But if they can have 3 maps at the top, I think then they're really starting to cook with something. They're gonna need to come out swinging here though. G2 were on a sick run to close out that last game. Absolutely dominant. Their comp really hard countering Sentinels.
Some notable stats, I think, coming out of this stage so far. We looked at the pistol round win rate for G2. That is quite impressive to have over 60% win rate on those pistols, but also on bind. G2 actually get less first kills across the map than Sentinels. In fact, they win over 50% of the rounds where they go down 4 versus 5 early, which is hard to do at this level against a team like that. And Sen are 1 from 7 in retakes.
And I think that really tells the story of that last map, is that even if Sen got a first kill, once it got into a post-plant situation, G2 were just able to win all of them out because of the density of the util in their comp in that game, you know? It was really that deadlock, all that stall util going up against a comp that needs to get back in fast is a recipe for disaster.
And let's not discount also what the Tejo util is still able to do, right? Yeah, it's a little bit harder to spam those guided salvos, but Trent is still able to provide a heck of a lot, you know, in that disruption, in that stall. And once on the attack side, G2 got the side, Sen could not get back in for the life of them. Stalled out, gunned down through smoke, getting pinged out, nothing they could really do there. Brutal stuff. Now, earlier we spoke with Zelsis about the importance of winning this ARPA final versus G2. There's a lot on the line, but let's hear it from the man himself.
Beating G2 in that upper final and getting that grand final slot and just getting more VODs on them, or, you know, they get tired, especially as a team with a sub, maybe they get a little drained, a little gassed. So it would be definitely a W for us to win that upper final. I do think it'll still be a bloodbath. I think it's never easy playing against G2 for us. Thankfully they have a sub, so we can kind of take some wins off them. But yeah, either way, I enjoy playing G2, and I think getting that upper final win against them would be very beneficial for us.
Now he is glossing over the fact that in order to beat G2 last time, Zekken had to get 20 kills in the second half of Lotus to get them out of that situation. So Hey, you know, Bloodbath is true, but Leaf is back in. I don't know about this talk about subs because Leaf looks like he never left the roster.
No, he is just in sick form straight away. And now we get to see him on the Chamber, where Baby Bay was honestly going crazy.
Yep.
His Chamber games were
He was
sick.
playing it on Ascent and farming.
Here on Sunset as well, had so many great timings that he was taking for flanks even. Was finding massive impact. And was honestly, I think, the critical reason that this G2 comp here, this look on Sunset was working. So I'm excited to see if Leaf is going to be able to take over the game in the same fashion. We certainly know he has more than enough skill to do it.
2 in 3 pistol rounds won by G2. That is pretty wild. Yeah, we've got a bit of a tech pause moment here on the stage, just waiting to jump into our pistol.
Baited us with that one.
And,
The
you know,
wall drop baited us for real.
I was ready. And you know, something that Zelsis didn't mention in that brief interview is that getting the win in this game means you go into that grand final. It's a best of 5. Your opponent does not get to ban a map before you choose the first map if you're the top seed. So you go ban, pick first map. So if we get a rematch of this, you're just going to ban, what, Corroder and Lotus, and then pick your best map straight away to start the series.
Yeah,
it's
it
insane.
feels like just a nail in the coffin.
It's been
for
a
the
massive,
grand finals.
It's been a massive
G2 were able
edge
to get
for
through,
our
yeah.
top seeds in stage finals. Like, it really has shown out.
Except for last stage where SEN were in through the upper bracket and still ended up losing to G2.
Yeah, we do talk about that one.
I mean, that was the rare time that that's actually happened, which is just a testament to how good this G2 team is. I mean, the first team that we've seen in Americas that have an actual shot at going for a three-peat, winning every single trophy in our region this year.
It's like we had a moment of Jaw had to relog, so he's still getting everything sorted out, getting ready to run in. And this is two very, very different styles on this map. You know, we're going to see the Breach try and set up some of these trap plays on the defense side. We're going to be looking over towards the A side of the map here, the classic straight down the line towards A main fault line, and maybe see Zekken try and capitalize. Whereas G2 a slightly different approach, and we know that Chamber can be a real menace on this map.
Yeah, that Breach, it is predictable, but effective. I think that's really the trade-off that you're taking. Everyone is so used to playing against it, comfortable playing against it, but he's still very good on this map. You can still set up your Neon so effectively.
It's obviously a situation where Narrate comes off Duelist now. We don't see too many of the double Duelist maps from Sentinels. And honestly, the teams that have been playing double Duelist here in Stage 2, they're kind of gone. Like, what has happened to them? They've all sort of fallen away, right? Crew, Leviathan. Maybe that wasn't the ideal approach in the end. Now, G2 versus Sentinels, it's a match that always delivers, and we caught up with Valen. And we wanted to ask him what exactly is it that makes this matchup so special to you?
Yeah, Sentinel's game is always the most energetic one. I mean, between the players and between the crowd, like the room is electric. And I love those games. The rival games, I mean, I used to play sports in high school, and like those high school rivalry games, like it gives me flashbacks to that, you know? It's a special one in my heart, you know? I love those players, and we talk back and forth all the time to try to create up like a big rivalry. And it all comes down to this moment. They got their actually, what am I saying? We got the first two. I was gonna say they got the first two. No, they didn't. We got the first two. They want the third, but I think the Baby Bay Smeeg aura is just like inevitable. Like, they're gonna crumble under the pressure of Baby Bay. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that one.
Thanks for sticking with us, folks. Sometimes we have issues in round one of a game. We need to roll back, but because it's round one, we run into an issue where there is no prior round. So we have to remake the lobby entirely. Of course, we have plenty of time for some horseplay.
What are these guys chirping about? what is happening?
Not sure.
I'm trying to decode the messages, but I'm lost, man.
Yeah, I mean, Valen talks earlier about really loving to make something of this little rivalry. Obviously, these guys are mates out of game. Well, a little smack talk in the track, though. Leaf loves trying to get under the skin of his opponents, clearly, and we saw him get loud, get rowdy, stood up there, and maybe there's some of those intangibles that Babybay's bringing to the team involves that, a little bit more joviality when it comes to the stage. We're going to jump in, folks, now to our second map of this best of three. It's Sentinels Sunset, where they'll start on defense. Moments away from the pistol.
And I'm just taking a look at those pistol round win rates again. There is a stark difference. One is not like the other. 50% honest from Sentinels. 1 for 1. They like to play a game of Valorant where there's no advantages for either side, right? G2, the 24 for 12, which is a crazy record to have for pistol rounds. That is unreasonable, if I'm being honest.
And if they lose a pistol, they just buy stingers.
And they're ready for an early A fight. Kind of standard line here with your breach to take. Have that fault line to send out. Paranoia comes first. G2 are baiting out some valuable utility pieces, especially on a pistol round where you don't get a whole lot of them.
Zelzes has been pretty conservative, though, on how he just offloads that util. Still that fault line, like you mentioned, held in reserve for the real thing. Why is it going back towards top mid here as we do see Leaf starting to explore that part of the map a bit more? Headhunter with 6 in the chamber.
In the meantime, towards A, G2, they are making their move when that one-way faded and the next one had to be placed. Prowler instantly. Bang knows that it's time to give that space up, that he could get overwhelmed, so he's going to go all the way back towards spawn. And Mary has taken that forward position, exchanging a Prowler of his own. This execute is bound to come in any second now. Yeah, here it goes. Paranoia. Site taken for free.
There's Lee, top mid, finds himself 2. He's off to the races already. And that dirty stage wall blocks off the spawn side of A, so G2 get into that site for free. Bang aware.
He is so aware. He instantly pings that out. But Jordan should have a teammate to assist. Surely right now, fully isolated.
And Jordan doesn't quite have the timing, but the swing is good. He finds 2 with the frenzy. Chalk up, get another pistol round here for G2. No one does it like they do.
As soon as the sage wall goes down for part of the site on the pistol and you have to get back in, it's wraps. It's wraps. You're not spending all that time breaking the wall. You don't have enough bullets to do it.
And it's so good on either site. You can use it to block market off on B, spawn off on A, and then Leaf unleash there through mid. It was only passively being watched there by Sentinels.
Jaw's like a little late to go in on the trade in like a technical sense, but honestly it's the perfect timing because then Sen weren't really expecting it and they get pushed by those G2 site players.
By being late on his own swing timing.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I tell my teammates in ranked when I don't try to trade for them effectively. No, you don't get it.
I'm trying to catch a timing off you, bro.
John's got the cam over here towards that B site to get the information that their gamble stack is incorrect.
Yeah. That sage wall gets them through market for free. There's no way that Sentinels can really intervene here. And a stinger heavy buy for G2 is going to be well appointed now as they'll set these crossfires up on B. Sen likely just want to leap into the wood chipper here.
It still feels like a novelty when we get to see Jaw playing something other than Yoru. And maybe that feeling will begin to go away because we're seeing Sunset in their pool a lot more. We're getting to see some Jaw Neon. I'm just so used to only watching him on that agent. And I know he's talked about feeling restricted in terms of the fun levels.
I mean,
he's wanted to play other stuff.
This was that
and
narrative.
be let off the dog wants to be off the chain.
This was that narrative when we first started talking about him coming on the G2. The question was like, was it going to be him getting restrained or them sort of being unleashed alongside of him?
Yeah, unfortunately, Yoru is just way too good, so he just has to keep playing it all the time.
It's like an extra initiator. It's astounding.
But he's let loose playing the Neon. I remember back when Neon got that massive buff last year, Jaw was the first player that really started exploiting it. And it was on Sunset. He was ankle breaking.
And this year, though, I feel like it was Asuna who really insisted on the agent on a lot of these maps, and we've seen Jaw pick it up again.
Team Ace.
All right, SEN first opportunity at the full buy. No real damage to speak of on that prior round. G2 have a very good bonus right now.
I think it's about time that SEN showed us what they're made of here, Wyatt.
G2 are going to take some space over towards B main early with a Prowler. Take their time working the map.
Really limited mid presence from SEN. They're really playing off of this part of the map. That's what allowed Leaf to get up there on the pistol and find 2 easy ones.
Jaw would look to get an engagement at that range with the Guardian. Just waiting out to see if anyone from SEN will expose themselves top mid. Maybe that can be the path to an entry kill for G2 as more util is just exchanged towards A main.
They got the fault line there.
The standard situation with those one-ways going up, and now it's fast. Moving from G2 getting back towards mid. And it looks like they want to go for that full B split 3-pronged attempt.
Yeah. A weird spot for Zekken to be this far into the round, I'm not going to lie. Jaw absolutely unprepared for that. Okay, here's Zekken though, caught by the Stinger, the classic. And now some degree of boba control obtained by G2.
A G2 that are patient right now, taking their time. Narrate going to get swung on, traded out by Jonah, but John is at the proper range to deal with that.
As Trent emerges, far too quick for John to do anything about.
But these are 2 players now with rifles for G2. Leaf pushed forward, has the ability to escape as well.
Weird little off angle he's got here. Might have seen a barrel there from Bang and he's waiting for him. Yep.
Oh, gets the dink.
Chunks him down to 12. Fake TP there. Zelsis has got a lot to do himself. He might try and flash Bang into the side, but he's just too low. Now G2 slowly able to fall back over towards that main direction. God, he's low. All right. Shock here as Leaf will stay entrenched. Time to scratch his nose even. Clearly, not enough pressure being applied to him. There's the tickle. There's the shot. Bang's head ripped off, but it's up to Zelsis now. Tough situation to get yourself out of, down to 8. And Leaf can bide his time. Knows he doesn't need to do much more than that. And the Headhunter has its prize. Ichino's be damned. G2 go up 3-0.
He is tearing them apart right now. I like that round from G2 in that, you know, they work B main early. They apply a lot of pressure A main, then they pivot into that split onto B, the 3-lane split, where when you have the Neon, you can use the fast lane to get up top. But Zekken read that situation. He was ready for it. You're kind of playing that off angle towards spawn. But what's lovely from the G2 side is that they really control the tempo of the game. They're able to slow things down.
What is that?
And in that moment is when the Sentinels players start to get a little bit rattled, a little bit anxious by the situation that they're finding themselves in, because it felt like G2 were just going to go in quickly, but they're stalling out. They're waiting, and then they get that trade onto Narrate, and then John all of a sudden realizes they're going to be coming at me from all angles. Like those players in market, they just slowed down, walking forward. I really like that adjustment from G2 in the middle of the round. They win out their bonus, in which, by the way, they basically just, I think they carried every single gun over.
Yep.
So their economy is rolling right now as well.
They're playing around the breach pretty effectively. Drawing that util out of, you know, Zelsis early in the round. It's tough for him to really be relevant. I think he tried to flash Bang into the side there in that post plant. But by that point, Senna lost far too much equity across the map, including that this trade they lost out on in Boba. Now they're down to, again, just brass tacks. We've got a Marshall here. Man carrying it, also by the same name.
So this is the kind of round win that if SEN somehow get it, can just jettison them right back into the game. Mentally, in terms of the economy, it's not a situation we've never seen in the past. Like, this is a potential turning point. It's just unlikely, right? I mean, G2 are playing this in a very stable way. They're waiting out any aggression towards mid at the moment.
Some of the big mid-stack, like a 1-3-1 to start the round, so hoping to trade into whatever aggression G2 might send top mid side, but we actually might see just a bona fide A hit from them now.
Just a take of A main, faking that they could be pushing up there. SEN want to respond by going into mid. They've been funneled into that trap.
Curiosity killed the cat, Wyatt.
Dealt with easily at long range.
And it's the fake of pressure at A that gets them curious at top mid.
Exactly. G2 have absolutely warned them on this round. Oh, what is happening, man? No! Just styles on him for no good reason at all. No good reason. Not one gun dropped for G2. The economy is, it's absolutely out of control, and we're only on round 5. Their 2 players at over 7K already.
And I mean, G2 know which button to press to try and draw out this Sentinel squad, like in different parts of the map. That's not okay, dude. Yeah, that is some stanky, yo. Stow that.
I knew that was filthy.
You want to play? Let's
maybe
play.
a bit more insistent about this A side, but again, it's G2 trying to tease that early util out on this side of the map. Tour de Force active for Leaf.
Here. Just uses that straight away. Got it last round. Eric going to be but one orb away from the Nightfall, so could be relevant later in this round, depending on how things play out. But at the moment, G2's hope is just that Leaf can patiently stay scoped up on some of these angles and find an entry via that Tour de Force. But SEN are very safe in their positioning at the moment. Outside of Bang, who the way things are set up really has to be jiggling inside the map. Wow, this is a crazy fake wall, but the trip is there, so Jumpa is like stuck. What? I mean, I see the vision, but that trip is a little unfortunate.
It pulls two players back from Boba though still. They've got to watch that left side push up top mid.
And Bang just has to give this up. I mean, he'd be a fool to try to fight this alone. He knows he'd be overwhelmed if that's the case. Jonas swings out. This is madness in mid, man.
It does set up a straight up post plant situation though for G2. No chance really for SEN to intervene. Neural Theft though gets some value. Sentinels with a bit of information, but now they've got to execute on it.
And either Fade with one kill will have a Nightfall in this situation, by the way.
Massive in this situation. Zekin gets across the gap. Hurd, and now it's a nice little fault line. Doesn't catch on the jaw though. He's big chilling. And we'll push up Link now. We're going to see a rendezvous off the spot there for Leaf. Awkward place for that shorter to go to work, but Trent now needs some backup. 4 bullets in the chamber. Not enough to fell narrate, but he and Zelsa's are low as it gets. And Leaf capitalizes. Now they're all 1v1. John v Leaf. Leaf with the advantage now. Happy to tease this out.
Just wants to bait out a shot.
Oh, man, he's dirty. Topping the scoreboard, a second consecutive map on his return to competitive play.
This guy is just insane.
He's 10-1.
It's hard to believe that with still the success and the performances that G2 have put on, they've been lacking their best player. But he's back, and yeah, I remember why these guys were so damn good. Mental 1 versus 3.
Oh my goodness. And SEN have nothing to say. In and out of the server by the looks of things. Very muted cohort of players on their map pick, falling well behind the 8 ball.
Everything they've got invested into this round in terms of the credits. SEN have that Nightfall to play with. They just haven't honestly been getting enough kills to get close to some of these ults either, which has been a bit of an issue. Like on the rounds that they're losing, you know, aside from the last one, there were a couple that were basically, you know, flawless, near flawless. So we're still not that close to getting a rolling